The wood I'm using to make this shelf with is cedar fencing that I got from Home Depot. It's kind of warpy. You gotta look really hard to get some halfway decent pieces, but I ended up getting some planks. These two little strips that I'm using on the back are just a 1/8 thick. I think they were 36 inches long. Some stock I had. The planks themselves are about 6 inches wide, and I think they came in 6-foot lengths. I'm gluing them all together. Again, they're just laying there. They're not attached in any way other than glue right now. And then I put those strips on the back, glued them, nailed them. So it did two things. It held the boards all together to each other, and it also stabilizes the shelf. And then on these, I'm going to attach the little hangers. But this is just gluing in, nailing in those two little slats that hold all those panels together. And here, this is, real sophisticated. I just took a little stick. I measured, I think, like 6 inches on the stick, and then I made sure that those slats are 6 inches apart. Now, everything's starting to come together here. I lifted it up to get a good look at how it looks. It looks pretty good. Like I said, I just eyeballed how they should be. Then here's the actual shelf. Again, eyeballed how long I wanted it to be and everything, and I was just holding it up there to get a look at how it's going to look at when it's done. Then I decided to make some little brackets that's going to hold the shelf onto the backer. So I'm just making my own little wooden brackets right here. Again, just eyeballing how I think they should be. And so this is just a simple little shelf, but it's something my granddaughter's going to have forever. When I finished it at the end, I flipped it over on the back and used my wood burner to do a little burning on there that says to Carissa with love from Grandma. And of course I put the date, which I do to all the stuff I make, so that the kids can remember when they did get it. Just double checking one more time that I have it the way I want it. And then cutting it on my little Dremel, cutting out the brackets. I gotta say, very little sanding was done to any of this because it was a very rustic look that I was going for. I did round off the edges of any of the sharp points, and a little bit of sanding between each of those slats for the backer board so that they would sit flush because they were a little warpy. And of course the edges of the brackets to make sure that they would be flush to the wood. But that was it. The wood is left kind of rough looking. Also a departure from the way I normally make things. It's not painted, it's not stained, and there's no finish to this wood. I just left it really rustic. And because it's cedar, it should last for quite some time. And it's also not going to be outside. It's going to be in my granddaughter's bedroom. I actually made it to hold all her water glasses that she's accumulated. Now, once I got the tags on them so I can hang it, I hung it on the door in the garage to see how level it appears to be, which it looked pretty good. But the true test now is I'm going to hold the shelf up against the backer boards there, and I put the level on there until it, the little water ball thing, whatever you call it, shows level. And then what I did was I drew a line along the bottom of the shelf so I knew where on the boards it should sit. So then I take everything back over to the works bench, table, whatever you want to call it, that I got set up there. I put the board on the pencil line, which you kind of can't see it so good in this picture. And then I lined up where I thought the brackets should be. Again, no measuring, just where I think they should be. And then I'm going to drill holes and so I can attach the brackets to the backer boards and the shelf to the brackets. This shelf actually came about because my granddaughter asked for one to put her water glasses on. I googled shelves, wooden shelves on the internet. I came up with a few pictures. I showed them to her, and this was the one she picked. And I said, well, I'll see what I can do. And it turns out that I was able to make it. So it's pretty simple. I hope you guys try it. Anybody that's looking to make your own shelves, this is a good one to try.